Hey guys, Ultra Maximus back, and it's that time of year. It's top 10 season, and I wanted to take a moment and look back at my favorite Marvel Legends figures for 2019. There was a lot of really cool stuff out there, but I had to narrow it down to 10. So let's go ahead and see what made that cut. My number 10 pick is going to go to the six-armed Spider-Man. And this got a lot of flack by people out in the community. And I really kind of feel bad for this figure because it's a good figure. It's a very durable figure. Like when you hold it in your hand, it feels very strong and rugged. And not only do I think it looks cool and it emulates the 1990s Spider-Man where he had the mutated arms that was real popular in the animated series and in the comics from the 80s. It emulated that Toy Biz toy back in the day, which I actually picked up this year too. And I just really, really dug it. Now, I will give a shout out to Dog, a fellow YouTuber, and he did some custom Spider Man figures that were six armed, where he took the pizza Spidey that had the full articulation and all that kind of good stuff. Where this one got kind of criticized because the body didn't have the waist swivel and the upper ab crunch and all that kind of good stuff. But, despite that, man, I just really like the figure, and that's why it's number 10. My number 9 pick is going to go to Doc Ock. Love this figure. Like the look, has a very classic Doc Ock look. This is what I think Doc Ock should look like, from growing up in the 80s into the 90s. This is what the character looked like, very much what he looked like on the old animated Spider-Man show. Love the arms. The only drawback I really have with this figure is the fact that the arms were not articulated. That would have been kind of nice, and the arms can fall out of the little ports on the back, but I guess with a little bit of super glue, you wouldn't have that issue. You just wouldn't be able to move them around. But man, it looks gorgeous. It's a hefty figure. It's a solid piece, and that's why it's number 9. My number 8 spot is going to go to Gambit, one of my favorite mutants out of the X-Men. Unfortunately, we don't get a lot of Gambit figures. He just hasn't been super popular as of late, mainly, I think, because of the development hell the Gambit movie was in, and then finally got canceled. I love this figure. I like the color patterns, the metallic paints, the eyes, the way they're painted. I like how he's got the, effects for his playing cards. All in all, it's a great interpretation of the 90s version of the character, which I loved from the Jim Lee comics and the X-Men animated series, and that's why he's number 8 on this list. Number 7 is going to go to the Walgreens exclusive Mystique. Again, this is another figure that I've been wanting an update for the Toy Biz version for a long time. Not that the Toy Biz one was bad, but this one's just a lot better in my opinion. I love the look. Again, it's got that classic Jim Lee 90s X-Men comics vibe, and the look that we get in the animated series. She was the hardest to find for the longest time this summer. I remember everybody dying to get this figure, and then it just kind of dropped off. It's definitely a cool figure, and I'd like to see some more variants of this in the shape-shifting department, but I don't know. I guess we'll see what happens. But definitely a wicked figure, and that's why it's number 7 on the list. Number 6 is going to go to Mr. Sinister. Love this figure. I can't really remember the last Mr. Sinister figure that was out there. It had to have been a Toy Biz version, and I've been wanting an update on this. I've always liked the character. I always thought he was fun in the X-Men comics. He was a great villain. I liked it when they kind of intertwined him and Apocalypse together in the stories way back in the day. I thought that was really cool, and he just, I don't know, he looks like a goblin or something, and I need a Madeline Pryor figure to go with him, and I don't know, it's just a great looking figure. Love the paint. I will say that his face did not come out well with the QA, so if you do go find him, you're gonna want to manually look for one, manually like physically look for one in the store, because you never know what you're gonna get, if you buy offline. But all around, great figure. Love that cape. Love the paint job. And that's why he's number 6. My number 5 pick has to go to Nightcrawler. He is one of my favorite X-Men characters and Excalibur characters. Love this design. The old Toy Biz figure was cool, but I just really, really like this. I like the color scheme. I like the sculpt work on it. I wish the tail was a little bit more articulated than what we got. I like how it doesn't disconnect, so that was kind of nice. The different head sculpts, that was cool to get as well. Love the sword. The only big thing I wish we would have got with this figure was a BAMF effect, but I mean, I can't really complain much about that. I mean, this guy is gorgeous and just looks the part, and I'm so glad they redid him finally, and that's why he's number 5. My number 4 pick is going to go to the Doppelganger Spider-Man. So, very, very similar body mold to the six-armed Spider-Man, except it's the demonic version of Spider-Man. And I love this character, always have from the comics. It was a great kind of generic, no thought about it bad guy that got used as a lackey in the comics. And I love the figure. I like the old Toy Biz version. This new version is very cool as well. A great reuse of the six-armed Spider-Man, but in a more muted color scheme. And man, I don't know. It just looks really cool. And he's all hunched over and, angry. And I love it. And that's why he's number 4. My number 3 pick has got to go to Beta Ray Bill. This is one of my favorite Marvel characters from the 80s and 90s. I always loved the fact that he was an alien and he was worthy of Thor, and he looks like a creepy horse thing. It was always a fun comic to read, and I liked when he would show up. He's a great supporting character, and I would really, really like to see this guy show up the MCU at some point. It'd be a lot of fun, but man, I've been waiting for an updated version of this guy, and this did not disappoint. He's big, he's bulky, and he's just very horsey, and that's why he's number 3. My number 2 pick is going to go to the Beast. Again, another one of my favorite X-Men characters. I've been looking for a Beast figure for a while. I was actually looking for the old Toy Biz version, and I found this guy at the Toy Drop. I've never actually seen this figure new at retail. I bought him at a vintage slash new toy store, a collector store, and I paid $15 for him, I think, and worth every single penny. I didn't get any of the parts that he came with, but I got all the parts for Beast and just absolutely love it. It's not quite as articulated as the old Toy Biz one, but it's damn cool, and I want to get, there's a third-party guy that did a head sculpt that's got the glasses, which I don't know why they didn't include that with this to make him look even more like the old 90s cartoon, and then a lab coat. We need that. So, I don't know. I'll find a lab coat from somewhere, and I got to get that third-party head, and that will make this Beast utterly perfect, in my opinion. But he's damn cool, and that's why he's number 2. And my number 1 pick for Marvel Legend of 2019 has got to be Weapon X. I love this character. Love the Jim Lee version, the old school X-Men comic cover with him in it. Just the whole concept is fantastic. I've got the old Toy Biz version of him, and now I've got this one. While I think there are a few things that could have been done a little better, especially with the hoses on the figure, everything else is just downright near perfect. I'd like to get the metal claws that the third-party guys have to replace the plastic ones. But other than that, this is a great figure and one of my personal favorite interpretations of Wolverine, and that's why he is number one. So there it is, guys, my top 10 Marvel Legends for 2019. What did I miss? What would you have put in? I'd love to hear your thoughts and comments. Leave a comment down below. Thank you guys so much for subscribing, sharing, and watching my videos throughout this year. Jump over to my Facebook page. Join the conversation there. I look forward to checking out more Marvel Legends in 2020. I want to wish everybody a happy and safe new year coming up. And as always, look for more videos coming soon. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, thumbs it up. If you hate this video, thumbs it down. To watch more Ultra Maximus, click on the links to the right. Don't forget to subscribe and share, like us on Facebook, and look for more videos in the future.